Hi everyone, today's video we're going to be looking at a subject that is really instinctive and natural to most experienced drivers. Some do have problems with it. The subject is steering. We've even seen on many of the clips that I show on my drive and fail episodes that people steer out of their lanes going round roundabouts, and that's generally because they're peering and looking directly in front of them. They look at where the car points as opposed to where it's going. And that explanation is going to be key to what we're doing today. But today we're going to be looking at something a little more specific about steering, and it's straightening up. And it's been inspired by a driving instructor colleague who I know very well. I did a fair bit of Danny's instructor training, but Danny Smith is an instructor in Liverpool, and he does film a fair few clips and sticks them on TikTok. So I'm going to start off by looking at one of Danny's clips, and this is where one of his students, well, a few of his students, have problems with straightening up. Let's have a look at this first.
Batter me face, I can't. Sorry, I don't know what's happened.
Oh, Imogen.
I don't know what just happened. How did that happen then?
I don't know, you just...
What did I do?
You just put your foot right on the gas.
That's it.
I don't know, I have to check what's happened there. You did something, I think.
No, I'm pissed.
I have no idea. Was there any reason that you
I don't
put your
know.
foot that far on the gas?
I don't know, I didn't even think I put my foot down that hard.
You did, you put it right down.
It didn't
I
feel
was
like I
pressing
did.
the brake and you were going forwards.
Oh my god, I don't
It
know
has
why
just hit
should
that
have happened.
lamppost actually, it's hit
Did
me
it?
wheel arch, yeah. I did not expect that, like.
Neither did I.
I mean, you were definitely going to hit all of that. You'd have just smashed right into it. Straight in.
Oh.
It's okay.
Wow. Oh god, what happened? Why did that happen? I steered too much.
The first clip is a little different. I'll go on to explain about that in a moment, but effectively it was maybe a little bit difficult to tell from the footage, but effectively Danny's students oversteered when they were turning left and didn't straighten up quickly enough. And like I said, that's what we're going to be looking at today. I'm going to go into the reasons why and how you can go about fixing it. Before we look at this in any further detail though, I would just like to have a quick look at today's car vertical integration. Now, this report is of a Nissan X-Trail, and as we can see by the report straight away that it has been damaged. The pictures on this report are extensive. As you can see, we've got a few here, and there's another 43 that we can look at. The damage occurred in October 2020, and as we can see, it did sustain quite a heavy front and side hit. However, if we look at some of the later pictures in August 2021, the vehicle has been repaired, and it looks as though it's been repaired to quite a high standard. So these reports can show you theft, mileage, financial and legal status, number of owners, MOT history, but the bit that I'm interested in this particular report, which shows some interesting information, is the timeline. Straight away we can see the damage occurred in September 2020. Shortly after that the car was on sale. I would suspect that's back to the insurance company, but it was probably fixed and then again put on sale in August 2021. And that matches up with the pictures perfectly. But if we go back to the timeline, we can see that ownership changed in September 2021. But this is the bit that gives me alarm bells. Yes, it was sold in September 2021, but in February 2022, it was already back on sale again. Is there something wrong with this car that we don't know about? So as I always advise, checking out a car before you make your purchase is really important, and there's no better way to do it than checking on a Car Vertical website. It's really simple. Put your registration or VIN number into the website and you'll be sent a report really quickly. And don't forget to use the code Ashley, because if you do, you save yourself 20% on checking out your next potential purchase. Thanks, Car Vertical. First of all though, I am just going to park in here on the left, and we're going to look at the first clip. Now, this car in front is absolutely ideal. Sorry, waving to people who know they recognise the car, even though I haven't got my roof box on today. But yeah, this car that I've got in front is absolutely ideal to explain what happened in the first clip. It looks as though Danny's student was moving off. Now, this is a phrase that you may not have heard before. It's called steering with your feet, and you do. You absolutely do. What you've got to do is make sure your steering is able to be controlled and applied and taken off with the speed that you're traveling. So if you have more steering to do, you need to go slower, pretty obviously. But students don't do that. They apply the gas or the accelerator in one manner, and it does cause them problems, just like we saw in the clip. So when the car zoomed off quite quickly, it seemed to catch Danny out, it seemed to surprise him. However, I'm also surprised that the brake didn't override the use of the gas. It usually does. I've never had a situation where the gas is more powerful than the brake.
Back to my face, I can't. Sorry, I don't know what's happening.
Oh, imagine.
I don't know what just happened.
So it was a good job that there were no parked vehicles on that opposite side of the road, and definitely no pedestrians walking down. Now, I know you think that this isn't maybe linked to straightening up, but it is. The point that I'm getting at is steering with your feet. If you've got more steering to do, you need to make sure you're slow enough. So what I've done to demonstrate this next point is put on my POV cam, and we've got a perfect corner out in front of us where I can hopefully demonstrate this. So it is down to speed, but it's also down to where to look and when they start this straightening up. So hopefully you'll be able to get an idea. Now I'm going to do the first one slowly, and I'm going to do what the students do. They'll leave it till we're point straight, and then it's a scramble to take their steering off. Now, I had to do that one really slowly, because if I was too fast, I wouldn't have had time, even with my steering, to be able to take it off. We would have ended up going towards that curb on the left-hand side. So hopefully from that, you can see exactly why Danny's students did what they did. So we'll have a go at this corner on the left, and I'll try and give you a couple of little tips on how you can correct your own steering if you do the same thing. We've got to go slow enough to do it, but the key is, when we are come round the corner, to look far and then lift your eyes to the very end and start bringing your steering back nice and smoothly and early. People do think that they've got to wait until the car's actually straight, but you start straightening up probably 2/3 of the way or so round the corner. It's not exactly the same for every situation. Again, it's speed dependent. So hopefully now you can understand what I mean about steering with your feet. I know it seems a little bit of a bizarre term, but it's absolutely spot on. We've demonstrated it with emerging, that you've got to give yourself time to do the steer, therefore you need a bigger gap. And we've definitely demonstrated it with showing you the mistakes that Danny's pupils made when they went towards the lamppost on the left hand side. And it's also the same with the first clip where the student went across to the right. Now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use my POV cam down here just to give you a little idea of what students do. That's all right, we can see that. They'll get their foot comfortable with the accelerator pedal, and that usually comes from early stages where instructors say, when they're first moving off, clutch down, first gear, set the gas, find the back. So what I'm getting at is straight from the off, from the early stages, instructors get students to have their foot comfortable with the accelerator or setting the gas. I don't do that. I'll say clutch down, first gear, I'll say cover the brake, and then let your foot fall. So the foot is then in that perfect correct position, so they've got ankle involvement. If they have their foot here straight from the off, they'll struggle getting back to the brake, and also they're using the ankle in this way as opposed to like this. I need to reposition first. Like this. This is how you should pivot between the two pedals, and that then allows you using your ankle to increase the pressure or decrease the pressure on the pedals. You've got more control, whereas this way they'll often use their whole leg. Now if they use the whole leg, just turn this camera off, if they use their whole leg, that's when they're going to get tense with the hands and grip, and you can probably understand from that why they do grip and then don't undo their steering soon enough. So it is a combination of both. It's a difficult skill that a lot of pupils do have problems with, but the big thing that I've found and this is with PDIs, potential driving instructors who I'm training, and also fully qualified ADIs, is that they push their students on to more complex junctions and things before they've sorted the base skills out. And these students of Danny's are showing signs of lacking these base skills. They haven't got the accelerator or the gas control, and they can't steer. Yet they're being pushed on to further things. That doesn't make sense. Now, Danny, don't take offence, like you've done on a couple of the comments that I've put on your videos before. We're not going to go into that. All I'm ever trying to do with these videos where I'm picking on, it's not really picking on the person, it's picking on the clip. All I'm ever trying to do is just increase standards. These tips that I've put across in this video today will hopefully be beneficial to many people, not just learners, but I think especially learners, understanding that link between accelerating and steering. And remember, you do steer with your feet. Keep safe, everyone. Check Danny out on TikTok if you don't do already, and on YouTube. He is on YouTube. I'll leave some links in the description. Any questions about that, please write them in the comments and I'll do my best to get back to you as soon as I can. Keep safe. I'll see you all soon.